everybody, and welcome back to Vasten2. This is a big one. Well, after sort of going, I'd hate to say slow burn, because we've accomplished quite a bit this season thus far on this build and some of the others around the city, but it's finally time to really dive in and make some huge progress. So that's what I did. I really spent a lot more time even than normal, and you're going to see just from the length of this time lapse that it's really true. I didn't slow it down or anything. This is my normal speed, and it's about double as long as any other episode, I think, of actual time lapse part. So yeah, it was quite a grind. First thing that we did is we put in these roads that are going around the houses and sort of making a town within the town, right? And this is just, this is just layer one of that. But the using just a combination of the different basalts, I think, was a nice thing. I almost did blackstone. I thought really hard about, but I don't have that much, and I think I want to use blackstone for some other things, and the amount that it would take to just do the roads would be a severe grind. I have a ton of basalt, and basalt's a cool look. It's kind of different, and so I'm glad that I went with that. Next, finally, we have to do the Northern Tower. Northern Tower is going to be a jail. This is for those of you who actually like the lore bit. This is going to be a jail. This is going to be where new people come. It's not really a jail, so to speak, but it's where new recruits come. And when they come in, they're here. And you can see there are windows on every side. There's only one window that faces straight into the colorless city, the colorless landscape below, right? All the others face out into others. So the jail cells show both sides, and they're observed by guards, and if they look at the grass and the lush flowers and all that kind of stuff of the rest of the city, then they're not accepted in, but they're not told about this. So you have to come in and you have to sort of inherently know that you are not supposed to look out that window, or it just has to be something that you're willing to give up, like you're willing to give up color. I think it's going to be a nice little touch of lore for new recruits coming into this society. Then I went to add some more towers. So we added some more towers on, well, some mini towers sort of on the top of other towers, and there's going to be more of that coming. But we were long overdue to actually do that and start the process of building vertically as well. And you can see there finishing off some of the sort of square towers. I think the square towers are probably as tall as they're going to be. I think the round towers are going to go up even taller. I think the square towers will probably have maybe a little guard houses or something up on top of that to really guard the city. Because these people, they might be a little bit scared. Maybe there are some real tense feelings between them and the people who live in Dawnport. So they really need all of the random enforcements and defensive areas and all that kind of thing. Then here we go. We got to add in all of this kind of stuff. Just the beginnings of some detail here. Like, this city is going to take so much detailing. So I decided that it's finally time to actually start to detail a little bit of it. Again, none of this is going to be absolutely finished detailing, but it's just the beginnings of knowing where, some of these things, so they're just not flat. You can see now that this is going to have a little bit of a walkway, and then what we'll do, eventually we'll come in with some probably of the nether brick fence. That's going to be nether brick is going to be my main detailing block, since you get all the walls and the stairs and the double slabs and all that kind of special stuff. But then, now we get into the grind part. This is why this episode took so long to put together, but I decided that let's sort of finish off the wall. So that's what we're going to work on here, and you can just sort of see the process. I went with a real random sort of thing. Sometimes I put a stair on the very top block, sometimes 2 blocks, and sometimes 3 blocks down, just to start to expand this walkway into a 3-block wide walkway, which then later would be actually expanded into a 5-block walkway, so that it's wide enough that, people could actually walk up on top, guard, shoot out if they need to, all that kind of stuff. I don't know if we're going to ever have had the city of Dawnport and the society here actually have come to blows, or if we're going to maybe just say, well, maybe they're scared of it or not. Well, that's some lore that we're going to have to work out. If you have any suggestions in the comments, I'd love to hear any ideas if there has ever been a conflict between the people of Dawnport and this very zealot-like fanatic society. I think it could be really cool. And you can just see, even though this wall is only 1 block wide, it's only 1 block thick, it makes an optical illusion where if you bring out the top to 5 wide and the bottom to 3 or 5 wide, then all of a sudden you don't even really notice that the wall itself is actually only 1 block. It makes a huge difference. And yeah, I just think it looks really cool. There are some things I didn't do this episode that I do want to do. I want to build a bunch of custom trees down in the city part of it, but the reason why I didn't is because before I do that, I'm going to need some pillar supports to hold up some of the wall areas, and that is not quite done yet, so I'm going to have to do the pillar supports first. Now here what we're doing is we're adding in another block taller on top of the wall. I kind of realized after I did it that for me to bring this out to 5 wide, I'm going to actually have to go out another whole block tall. So I just did another combination of in this case, I did cobble and cracked stone brick, because I thought it'd be better to walk on that than it would be just all stone brick. And then on the outside of it, whenever I go back around with the stairs, and with this row of stairs, we just did your normal every single block regular height stairs. I felt like it doesn't really matter too much. Like here, you'll see it coming across here. I think it's I don't think you'll even really notice that it's not random, that it's every block, because the ones under it are random. So I think it worked out really well, and you can start to see the girth of the wall. Like if you look at that wall, you don't think that's 1 block deep, do you? I don't. I mean, it looks to me that it's a big, thick, awesome, hard to penetrate wall, and it should be a really nice sort of facade, especially after I get the andesite put in on the outside, and after I get there's going to be a roof put in over top of the walkway that goes around, and I think that's just really going to masquerade the wall completely. Like you'll never know how deep it actually is. It's really cool. Here, speaking of the andesite on the outside, here's the way I did. I've done this. I did this in my Bedrock single player world a little bit, and I kind of learned some things of how to do it. And if you ever do this technique, just trust me on this. Go around first and put in your stairs on top, stairs, wall, slab, whatever you want to put on top, and then come back and do the other one. Otherwise, it's such a time saver on a big project to do it this way. Otherwise, you're doing a lot of jumping and a lot of like really precise clicking just to get the blocks in the right place. And you can see bringing in this dark color on the outside is really going to start to help, because I didn't do a gradient here. You know, I thought really hard about, should I do a gradient on this project? And I thought about it and I decided no. Yeah, I know that chest monster needs to go. It needs to be moved. But I decided no. And the reason why I didn't is because I want to do a gradient basically built sort of into the structure instead of random and built into the walls, and just try and just see how it feels. And if it doesn't work, that's also okay. But that's my goal. So I'm putting the darker andesite down the bottom. And what I'm going to do is as we go up, you can see I already have some white terracotta put in there. We'll be doing more diorite up on top, all that kind of stuff. We may even be doing some diorite spires. I still haven't totally decided on what color of spires I want to do, but I'm kind of thinking white. Maybe keep the black for sort of detailing and more down on the bottom, and the white for more up on the top. I think it could look a lot cooler. And yeah, you can just start to see with that the back tower on the screen right now is actually the northern tower, but with that northern tower put in and the thicker wall, oh man, it's starting to look so cool. I did have to expand all these mini little towers up an additional 3 blocks for the roof, because otherwise the roof would sort of go over top of it. I didn't want that. I want them to poke through the roof to have some additional sort of spires and things like that. And yeah, now comes the part that let me just tell you, this part was really painful. Using all slabs, and I use a combination of andesite, polished andesite, and cobblestone slabs. I thought it would look really good. I didn't want to use only andesite because I wanted to bring in some highlights of a different color. And it does. It looks really, really cool. But it was so painstakingly slow to do, and so many missed blocks. I actually cut out several of the time-lapse clips here just because it took so long to do. You'll see the supports there. Those are actually birch log, it's called birch wood, right? Birch wood supports. And they work really well, again, because we have grayed them in our texture pack for years now. They've been gray. They're actually, I think they're 90-degree turned acacia logs that have been grayed. I think that's the actual texture, but yeah, these are good. The problem is whenever you're standing on slabs, you know, if you slightly move, then you either go up or down half a slab, and then that moves to where your mouse button is going to click, and the misclicks were absolutely endless. Like, it took so long to do this project, and then the next part, which is going to be the roof on the sort of outside passageway. So we're getting there. I mean, we're getting there. I like this build a lot. I think bringing in the andesite, even though I'm going to call it a color because it's just not cobble or stone brick, you know what I mean? But like bringing in like a darker version of gray is going to make a huge difference. Already has. This area here, I just kind of realized that I forgot to use my light gray concrete powder as grass, and I forgot to do it on this central island. So I went ahead and grayed that up because that's supposed to look like grass that has had the color extracted. Oh man, look at this build. It's starting to look really cool, isn't it? I think it really is. This is turning slowly into one of the more epic builds that I think I've done. I think maybe by the time it's done, it's going to be in a close race between this and the Guardian Temple that I'm doing over the Guardian Farm that I'm doing over in the single player world. And then I finally came up with some lighting designs after a lot of trial and error. And these are the little lanterns. You can basically see what it is. It's just nether brick. It's a double slab nether brick, and then a wall, and then two fences, and then a wall, and then a double slab nether brick, and then hanging the pumpkins, the jack-o'-lanterns, which are facing. Which way would it be? West. If I face west, they turn white. And then then I need to go get more jack-o'-lanterns. I thought, hey, you guys haven't seen the end in a little while. So why don't we just fly over here and take a look at New Talatal, and how cool is it? Oh, man, I love New Talatal. And, yeah, we have giant pumpkin farms here. So, yeah, they're... You know, the problem is no one ever AFKs in the end, so occasionally I just have to remember to go. But there's some huge pumpkin farms for jack-o'-lanterns, and you can get something like 14 stacks or something like that if you go through it all, and it works out really well. And then back to work, and I don't even know, man. Like, I was on this for so long, I can't even believe it. Yeah, more jack-o'-lanterns here, and then we're gonna do the roof. I still have to go back in and do some supports. You see this hanging, like, you see some of these are undercutting some pretty big structures up on top, right? And that's not so great for physics. Like, I think that would probably fall down, that big tower. So I think what we're gonna need to do is we're gonna really need to come in and delve pretty hard into the support structure. Yeah, and you can see here, it's really tough to see. It was tough to come up with an angle because I just kept going around and around and around. But you can see I'm putting in the roof, and you can see there's about 1,000 million pillagers up on top of my area. Someday I'm gonna have to go kill those dudes. But for right now, you can just see like there, it's so awesome. It looks so good. Bring in that darker color there, and then some pillars, and then we did some diorite trim again, and that works really, really well. I really like it, actually. I was slightly skeptical on how much I would like the diorite trim, but yeah, I think it turned out really great. But regardless of that, let's jump into game and walk around our little world here. Well then, let's take a look at this place. I did a little bit of the beginnings of work here detailing this stuff, but you can just see. Are you starting to get that feeling? You're starting to slowly. I know, look how plain this is. So it's not there yet, but you're starting to get the feeling, I think. I know the birch leaves down there kind of take you out of it just a wee little bit, but you're starting to get the idea of what this is going to be all about. I'm starting, like, my vision is starting to actually come into, well, what would you call it? Fruition, I guess. It's really great. So did a little bit of work here where I just used some of these double chisel blocks and also got a way up to the wall temporarily, probably for right now. We'll work out something a little bit more permanent. This, I think we're really going to go nether brick fence along here to bring in some black, which would be really good, sort of contrast with everything. But then also just to sort of make it obvious people can't fall off. But yeah, oh man, look at this place. It's starting to look so good, loving it so much. And hopefully you are as well. Not a lot more to see here. You've seen kind of it all in this monstrous time lapse. I hope you just appreciate how much we got done in a single day. I know these slabs, roofs and stuff don't seem like that big of a deal, but they took forever and they add a lot. So both things well worth it. And here you can just see it coming in on the town. Oh man, look at this. Right middle of the city. Oh, it's so cool. The one thing I'm really looking forward to probably next episode is I want to build up. You know, we've done a lot of building down, building out, but I want to build up. But we'll see you next time. Thanks for spending part of your day with me. I really do appreciate it. And have a great time. Have a great weekend. Check out my other channels. Don't forget Fixxitt Sports and Fixxitt Off the Record for some Elder Scrolls and Red Dead 2, Red Dead Redemption 2. And we'll see you all next time. Bye. Love you all. Bye, everybody.